No, look, there's I always say I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very easy.
But I'm gonna go with Canelo because he didn't hold Turkey's hand.
It's two things that you can do with somebody bigger and stronger. You know, you can either try to push them back, you know, because 9 times out of 10, a strong fighter not used to going back.
Canelo Alvarez reacts to Terence Crawford's knockout victories with respect, acknowledging Crawford's impressive skills. He admits that Crawford did a very good job against Errol Spence, making the win look surprisingly effortless. However, Canelo questions Crawford's overall record, noting that Spence is the only major name Crawford has truly beaten. Looking ahead, Canelo emphasizes that fans will see what happens when they finally meet in the ring, leaving anticipation high.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing. We'll see.
Canelo suggests he already understands Crawford's fighting style and techniques, displaying confidence in his preparation. He adds with a smile that Turki Alalshik, who will be in Crawford's corner, might be very upset on fight night, hinting at the personal and intense nature of the upcoming showdown.
Nothing you're gonna be able to do about it come fight night.
I know Turki is in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
Canelo's decision to bring Jiren Ennis into his sparring camp is viewed as a strategic move. Johnny Ortiz explains that Ennis closely matches Crawford's body type and fighting style, making him an ideal training partner. This allows Canelo to study Crawford's rhythm, movement, and physical advantages firsthand while refining his own timing and defense. Meanwhile, Ennis gains invaluable experience working with a veteran like Canelo, making the setup mutually beneficial. Ortiz considers this a rare, highly strategic training situation that enhances both fighters' preparations.
Makes sense, and it's definitely good experience for both. Eddie Reynoso and Canelo, shout out to them because now it shows that they serious with a real game plan, and Boots is, to me, everybody's a perfect opponent. I wouldn't say opponent, perfect sparring partner to have to replicate Crawford because they both switch hitters and stuff like that, and they got dog in them and reflexes for sure. So it shows Canelo serious, and on Boots' end, to be able to spar a Hall of Famer, top tier guy is gave him great experience, and you could tell he really wants it. It's a sport where Boots is getting an opportunity to spar a Hall of Famer. Who cares? And in reality, what the fuck loyalty does Boots owe to Crawford when it comes to the sport of boxing? I mean, Crawford didn't do shit even back while Boots was trying to get his opportunity when it was Spence and Crawford. Every time Boots' name got mentioned, you heard the bud clowns be like, oh yeah, he don't deserve it. Oh, who did he fight? Oh, who this and that, man? I ain't trying to hear that shit. It's like it's different shit that you need to be woke up outside of boxing. Boxing is a sport. There's shit that we need to really come together. I didn't see y'all come together like 5 years. The bud clowns, because it's real fans, the bud clowns is bashing PBC. Everything Boots, when you bring up Boots' name, putting him down, I didn't hear like, oh yeah, instead of fighting Canelo or fighting this person, he should fight Boots.
Jose Benitez highlights the value of Canelo Alvarez choosing John Boots Ennis as a sparring partner. Ennis resembles Crawford in key aspects like physique, movement, and style. Training with someone who shares similarities with Crawford helps Canelo mentally prepare for what he'll face in the ring. Benitez also notes that Crawford's smaller size compared to Canelo could be an advantage, and working with a physically strong, stylistically comparable partner boosts Canelo's confidence, giving him a psychological edge before the fight even begins.
To give Canelo maybe a little bit more confidence that he is sparring somebody really good, and is a really good fighter, and I think that would be a good motivation, you know, for Canelo Alvarez. I just think that Crawford is too small for Canelo. I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. But in my opinion, I think if Crawford can maybe just tap, get out, tap, hook, get out, maybe once in a while throw a straight punch and just win by points and use his legs, I think I see him winning by decision. But if he tries to exchange with Canelo Alvarez, I think he's gonna make a mistake and he's gonna get hit with one shot and maybe he can get hurt and that would change the whole fight, you know. But I think he's faster. Crawford is faster, and a straight punch, get out, you know. Don't stay there to throw or try to trade with Canelo Alvarez.
Okay, fair to say. Fair to say. Now, do you feel like when it comes down to the demeanor of making that decision of bringing it in, does it show that he's taking this camp perhaps a little bit more serious than others? I mean, what do you think about just the move per se?
You know, it's very difficult to say. He's never brought anybody really good to his camp until this time. Maybe he's lacking out of confidence, or maybe he just wants to use them to trick the people, or, I mean, it's very awkward and very funny that he brought Ennis to his camp, you know. So, but at the end of the day, they know what they're doing, you know, and we gotta respect that. And I think
the global boxing landscape has entered a new era where streaming platforms now set record-breaking audiences for live events. The Netflix fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson drew an astonishing 65 million viewers, marking it as the biggest in terms of audience size. This event demonstrated that the appetite for combat sports surpasses traditional expectations. The upcoming Canelo Alvarez vs. Terence Crawford bout carries the potential to surpass that viewership, becoming a historic event of global significance. Fans worldwide are eager to see if this fight can generate even greater excitement and engagement.
Like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, which was obviously on Netflix as well, the biggest concurrent view was, I think, 65 million. So at one stage of a time, 65 million people were watching that fight, which is crazy, hence why it broke Netflix servers. I do wonder what this does. I think it does around 10 to 15, which is still an incredible number. The problem with these two, and I was saying this morning actually to Gareth A. Davis, like, there's no antagonizer here, is there? No one is willing to play the role of the bad guy, the heel, the bully. And you almost need that a little bit. Jake Paul was actually quite smart in the way in which he promoted the Tyson fight. Obviously, look, it's Mike Tyson. But it was promoted so well where Jake was willing to be the guy that, I'm going to fuck up the greatest fighter of all time. You know, he was willing to kind of say all those things and play that role. So people almost tuned in to see him get chinned as well. Neither of these guys are playing that role. Neither of these guys, I don't think, have crossed over massively to non-boxing fans. I mean, to us, they're like gods, but to non-boxing fans, I do wonder how much people know them.
Terence Crawford has never been one to shy away from challenges, and his preparation for Canelo reflects his strategic mindset. He acknowledges the difficulty of facing a larger opponent but believes there are effective tactics. One key strategy is to push bigger fighters backward, as they often prefer to dictate the pace with their size and strength.
And it's two things that you can do with somebody bigger and stronger. You know, you can either try to push them back, you know, because 9 times out of 10, a strong fighter not used to going back, you know, so it kind of fucks them up in the head, you know. Yeah. Or you can just box me because some of them just slower than others because they got flat feet, and they just looking to load up on certain shots.
Now, Crawford's definitely right here. There's 2 ways to beat a pressure fighter like Canelo. Either you put the pressure back on him, which is where guys like Triple G and Bivol had success, or you use your superior skills and footwork on the outside, which is how Floyd Mayweather won. Now, Crawford, he can't use the pressure approach because he's not as physically dominant as guys like Golovkin or Bivol. You know, Bud is a welterweight or junior middleweight jumping up. He doesn't have the size to push Canelo back. Now, the outside boxing approach, that is definitely Crawford's best chance against Canelo.
Crawford's plan includes forcing opponents back to disrupt their rhythm and draining their stamina by exploiting their flat-footedness, common among heavier fighters. His high boxing IQ guides these tactical approaches, emphasizing that victory requires more than toughness, it demands turning disadvantages into strengths. Crawford's training camp centers on conditioning and precision, sharpening his skills for this career-defining challenge.
Canelo does struggle to cut off the ring at times. We saw that in the Skull fight. And he does load up on single shots now. But at the same time, Crawford is not the same pure boxer that Floyd Mayweather was. You know, Mayweather rarely got hit in that shell. And his form of countering, you know, a pull counter, for example, was, I'm not going to get touched and then I'll make you pay. Whereas Crawford's style of counterpunching is different. Bud will take one to throw 2 or 3 back. And he can't do that against Canelo because of the size and power difference. If Bud takes a clean right hand to throw back an uppercut or a hook, he's either going to get dropped or he's going to end up on his bike like Jermell Charlo. So while I do agree Crawford does have the superior skill set in this fight, but because he doesn't have the size to push Canelo back, or the defense of someone like Mayweather stay perfect for 12 rounds on the outside, I do think Canelo's size and power will make the difference in this fight. And that's why I like Canelo to win.
Despite the rivalry, Crawford has expressed admiration for Canelo Alvarez's place in boxing history. He recognizes Canelo as one of the last representatives of a golden era, sharing the stage with legendary fighters. For Crawford, facing Canelo was not just about titles or records but about testing himself against a true boxing icon who has carried the sports torch. This perspective adds depth and significance to their upcoming showdown.
Well, listen, I called Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. You know, the Floyd, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya. We both came up in that era, and he was right there with those fighters, and he got the chance to fight the Miguel Cottos, the Floyd Mayweathers, and you know, the Kovalevs and Triple Gs, and I wasn't able to get those mega fights, you know, so this is my mega fight, this is my moment, and that's the reason why I want to fight an all-time great like Canelo.
John Porter offers a different view, suggesting that Canelo won't present Crawford with anything he hasn't already seen. Porter believes Crawford has faced a variety of styles, speedsters, punchers, counterpunchers, and larger opponents, and has proven capable of handling them all. This versatility, Porter argues, makes Crawford well-equipped to deal with whatever Canelo brings, even if Canelo is bigger and more powerful. His insight provides a balanced perspective for fans debating the outcome.